Barcelona is a weird and wonderful place. I keep coming back. I actually just wrapped up another trip, and I do think this is still one of the best cities in Europe. But it's also full of things you only find out the hard way. So today I'm sharing all the stuff I wish I'd known before my first trip. Travel tips, quirky facts, and one mistake that carries a €200 fine. Let's get into it. Antoni Gaudi designed the Sagrada Familia, Park Güell, and basically half the buildings you're going to take photos of on your trip. In 1926, he was walking to church and got hit by a tram. He was dressed so plainly with no ID on him that the people who found him thought he was a beggar and nobody rushed to help. By the time anyone worked out that the scruffy old man was the most famous architect in Spain, it was too late. Now here's the twist. Gaudi died in 1926 with his masterpiece barely a quarter built, and in June 2026, exactly 100 years after his death, the Pope himself stood under the finished tower of the Sagrada Familia and blessed it. It took a century, but the man they mistook for a tramp is now celebrated as a genius, and his most famous building is almost finished. Now, the important bit. The Sagrada Familia runs on pre-booked time tickets only, so the second you know when you're going to Barcelona, book your ticket. Barcelona is the pickpocket capital of Europe, not just a bit dodgy. It's the actual capital. Usually it's not violent though, but these people are professionals and tourists are the natural target. The hotspots are exactly where you'll be. The Rambla, the metro and the beach. And the metro trick they do is that a crowd forming around you at the door as the train arrives, and they'll bump into you and steal your stuff, so be aware. And for the beach, I need to tell you something that might come as a bit of a shock to a lot of you guys. Putting your phone under your towel won't make it magically impossible to steal. Always be vigilant in Barcelona. And speaking of those beaches, here's the thing, they're not real. Barcelona's beaches are man-made. Before the 1992 Olympics, the seafront here was a wall of factories and railway with basically no beach at all. The city ripped it out, shipped in the sand and built the coastline you now think of as classic Barcelona. The beach is nice, but it's younger than half the people lying on it. While we are on the theme of things that aren't what they seem, in the Gothic quarter there's a gorgeous stone bridge arching over the street, the Bishop's Bridge, and it's on roughly every Barcelona postcard ever made. Everyone thinks of it as some ancient medieval relic. It was built in 1928. Go and see it, it's beautiful, but it is just, a wee bit older than my beloved grandmother. Barceloneta is the beach everyone marches straight to, and the stretch by the W Hotel is a wall of towels all summer. But there's an easy fix, and this will blow your mind. When you're walking to the beach from the city center, you don't actually have to walk down to the W Hotel. You are allowed to walk through the actual area of La Barceloneta and head down to some of the beaches far away from the W Hotel. And by doing so, the crowd thins out a lot. Barcelona doesn't just have one beach, it's actually split up into loads of small beaches, and the further out you go, the more pleasant your experience will be. If you're coming in the summer months, do yourself a favor and book a hotel with a rooftop pool. It sounds like a splurge, but it's one of the smartest moves you can make in the heat. The afternoons here get brutal, and that's exactly when half the city shuts down for siesta. So instead of mooching about the melting streets with nothing open, you head back, get up on the roof, cool off in the pool with a drink and a view over the rooftops, then go back out when the city comes alive in the evening. It turns the hottest, deadest part of the day into the best part of it. I'll drop some good hotels with rooftop pools in the description below. While we're talking hotels, small one, but it'll surprise you on the bill if you don't know. Barcelona charges a tourist tax per person per night on top of your room rate, and in April 2026 they doubled it. A 4-star hotel is now about €8.50 per person per night. A 5-star is 12, and even a rental apartment is €9.50. So a couple doing 4 nights in a decent hotel is paying nearly €70 in tax alone. And speaking of surprises on the bill, here's a tip that'll save you money and awkwardness. First, water. Spanish law says every restaurant has to give you free tap water, but if you just ask for water, they'll almost always bring a pricey bottle and stick it on the bill. The magic words are agua del grifo, tap water. Say that and you're sorted. But a small heads up, Barcelona tap water is safe to drink, but it isn't winning any awards, which is why plenty of locals buy bottled water anyways. So at least now it's your choice and not a surprise €4 on the bill. And tipping. You don't need to do the big 20% thing here. It just isn't the culture, to be honest. Round up or leave a few coins for good service and you're golden. And while we are at the dinner table, roll up to a proper restaurant at 7 for dinner and you'll be eating alone with the cleaners. Spanish dinner is late. Most places don't really get going until 8:30 or 9, and they'll happily serve you past 11. So don't book your evenings too early. Lean into a long late lunch and maybe have a little something to bridge the gap, and eat when the locals eat. The whole city runs a couple of hours behind what you're probably used to. Everyone tells you the Rambla is a must-see, and walking it once is fine, just watch out for the pickpockets, but eating on it is a mistake. It's like the Times Square of Barcelona, crowded, overpriced, built for people who will only come there once. So just head a couple of streets into the Gothic quarter and find a nice little restaurant. On the Rambla, the Boqueria is worth seeing, but it is rather busy of course. By the way, if any of this is useful so far, it'd be quite cool if you'd hit that subscribe and like button. Thank you. Barcelona is the capital of Catalonia, and a lot of people here feel Catalan first and Spanish second, or maybe they don't even feel Spanish at all, to be honest. The local language is Catalan. You'll see it on every sign, and it is its own language, not just a Spanish dialect. You don't need to learn it, but a bon dia for good morning and a gracias for thanks instead of the Spanish ones will earn you a very warm welcome to this city. Something loads of people miss. Barcelona isn't a place you have to stay put in. I came out once for a work trip where we flew into Barcelona and stayed up in the hills, barely an hour from the airport, and it was so calm and beautiful it hardly felt like the same country as the packed beaches down the coast. And up the coast you've also got Costa Brava with the stunning cliffs and little hidden coves. Inland there's Montserrat, a mad monastery wedged into the side of a mountain, and it's one of the most striking places in the whole country. There are easy day trips out to Montserrat that handle the transport and timing for you, so you just show up and enjoy it if you want that. If you can line your trip up with Primavera Sound, do it. I went a couple of years back and the lineup is always ridiculous year after year, you know. It's proper world-class acts like The Cure, Blur, Lana Del Rey, Arctic Monkeys and Birdbreast. It's been running a long time too, so it's a well-oiled machine rather than some chaotic first-year mess. So you get a festival, a city break and a beach holiday in one, all in the same few days. The food at Barcelona airport is so bloody horrible that they're almost forcing you into McDonald's. And I know, because last time I was there my flight was very delayed, so I basically walked all over the place and didn't find a proper restaurant anywhere. So eat in the city before you head out there, or grab something for the journey in town, because the departures hall isn't where you want your last great Spanish meal to happen. If you plan on renting a bike, which is a good idea if you want to reach the beaches that aren't as crowded as the main one, Listen up. In Spain, it's illegal to ride a bike with headphones in, earbuds, AirPods, over ears, all of it is banned and the fine is 200 euros. And they do enforce it. They fined professional cyclists for it while they were just out training. One thing you need to understand before coming here. Barcelona isn't just busy. It is actively trying to change the kind of tourism it gets, because locals are pretty fed up with people treating the place like a weekend theme park. That does not mean don't come to Barcelona, it means stay in a proper hotel, don't drag your suitcase through residential streets at midnight, don't eat the rubbish on the Rambla, and don't block the tiny local buses up to Park Güell, and just remember that people actually live here. Come as a guest, not as an invading stag do, and Barcelona will probably treat you just as in any other European city. A little bonus pop fact: the Eiffel Tower, the single most French thing in existence, was reportedly pitched to Barcelona first. The story goes the city turned it down because they thought it was a hideous lump of metal that would wreck the skyline. So Monsieur Eiffel took it up the road to Paris instead. I'm not sure if this is entirely true or just some kind of urban myth, so maybe all the Frenchmen watching this can go mad in the comment section now. Now, if you're actually going to Barcelona, I've made a full guide to the city with everything you need to know before you go. It's the travel guide I wish someone had shown me before my first trip, so maybe check it out. Also, hit subscribe if this was useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!